Hello, friend. Jim here with JB's Big Adventure, coming to you from Lake Chapala, Mexico. And today I've got a video that I have had probably over the last year that folks have said things to me about it. And it seems like I've had a lot more people just recently. So it kind of tells me that more and more people are actually looking to come to Lake Chapala and be a digital nomad. Be a digital nomad. And what I'm going to do is I've had a lot of requests more recently than in the past in regards to doing a video on this. So that's what I'm going to do. But before I get to that, if you haven't already, I'd like to encourage you to subscribe to the channel. It's fast, free, and easy to do. In the bottom right-hand corner, there's a little red box. Tap on it, you're subscribed, and you'll know when our next video comes out. Also, you can give us one of those thumbs up to let other people know that it's a great video watch in regards to retiring to Lake Chapala. So on to what is a digital nomad. So it's taken some study. And one of the things I found out is that a digital nomad is also somebody that uses a computer and does YouTube videos. So I guess I'm somewhat that myself. So digital nomad. Webster says a person who earns a living online from various locations around the world. Now, to be able to do that, you're online. It takes having a laptop, and you can pretty much do a lot of things from anywhere. So I'm going to share some of those things right here. So why would somebody want to be a digital nomad? Now, I'm finding that the ages of individuals that are coming to Lake Chapala, sometimes you have a husband who's retired and the wife hasn't yet retired and she's still working, or you got the wife that's a little bit older, the younger male, and he's still working. So there are folks that are coming down, and I've seen folks that are in their 40s that are here with children. There's actually a U.S. accredited high school here, just real close here to where we're at here at Lake Chapala. So there are those that come here and want to do work from here, and they can do that because they're able to work from elsewhere. So here's why someone would want to be a digital nomad. One, you're your own boss. You set your own hours, you set your own schedule. You live a free lifestyle. Now remember, life is what we're given, but style is how we live it. So living a lifestyle, doing the things that you enjoy and being able to do them every day. So that's some of the things that I find from folks that are looking at wanting to be a digital nomad or already digital nomads. As a matter of fact, I'll share with you that in Mexico, in the country of Mexico, there's 1.5 million Americans. Now, the highest concentration of those expats are right here at Lake Chapala. But what I'm seeing is the numbers of age are going from being in the 70s lower and, even like in the 40s and 50s. So there's some folks that are retiring early. Retiring doesn't take age. Retirement just takes money. So there are folks that are on the young side that and I've met folks that they own properties or they've got a business that's in the States that they can do things on the internet. I know of a gal that actually, she works for a financial institution in New York, and she's able to do that from here and be online. So digital nomad salaries on the average are about $10 to $30 an hour, and based on the qualifications of experience in their industry. Now, something I'll share with you, because what I'm not doing is I'm not trying to promote people to come here to work. What I want to share with you, these are individuals that come to Lake Chapala, that want to be here, that want to be a part of the community, but they are still working. And they're able to do a lot of things here locally. So salaries range between $10 and $30 an hour. And that can be a really good living. So what are the most common digital nomads jobs? So let me share these with you. One's a content creator, and that would be like having a YouTube channel. And I can just tell you that, I invest time not only going out and shooting a video, but the time that it takes to edit that video is probably 3 or 4 times. So if I spend an hour, let's say, for example, that I'm shooting a video of a house for rent or for sale, and I'm there for an hour, I'm probably putting between 3 and 4 hours in of editing time. Now, I'm a perfectionist, and Barbara reminds me of that. And that's why it took me 85 start overs, my first video, and it took me 2 weeks to try to figure out how to do the editing. So it turns out that my first video, which was terrible in my mind, in fact, I'm going to be redoing it, updating it some, but basically about what you need to know before you come visit Lake Chapala. So let me just share with you some of these jobs. And these are folks that are already here doing these. Freelance writer, programmers, vloggers, those that do a blog and use a video to do that blog, video producers. These are all jobs that can be done online. Podcast host, business consultants, travel writers, photographers that are taking pictures of travel items or travel times, weddings and such, and models, graphic designers, web designers, translators. There's companies that look for freelance translators to be able to help them with their business, grow their business. And it might be a business that's in the States and it's also in Europe or whatever it may be, but looking for translators. There's travel agents. I just had a travel agent here just recently that we spent a few days with that came on the relocation service and got to be good friends. You got a chance to meet them. This was, we did this video on Thanksgiving. And a shout out to Jeff and Laura. I really enjoyed being with you guys. We had a lot of fun. And so she's actually a travel agent for Disney. So you can be pretty much anywhere as a digital nomad and be able to have an income coming in. Now, I will tell you that I don't do YouTube to make money. Yes, the channel is monetized, but until you get into thousands and thousands. I mean, I know of someone that came through town that was a traveler that travels the world. And they told me they had 20,000 subscribers and they were making about $3,000 a month. 20,000 subscribers. We have 2,000, or I guess actually more than 2,000. But because we've kind of pigeonholed. We don't travel around the world. We don't travel around Mexico. You can know for certain that our videos are all about lifestyle of living and retiring here to Lake Chapala. So the reason I'm doing this is because of the fact there are folks that I've already met that are looking at moving here because they, in fact, aren't the age that they feel, age. They might be 59, they might be 55, they might be 62 and want to work till 65, but they're able to do whatever it is that they do for a living and be able to do it online. And you can do that here. There's tech jobs, web designers, there's programmers, and freelance writers, and also authors. Folks, I know of, there's some folks that are actually authors that get some inspiration. They're down at the Malecon and such, doing some writing. So let me share with you some of the reasons why, and it took me a little bit to put this all together because I wanted to really make sure that you got the value out of it and the intent behind it of being of support to folks that want to come here to Lake Chapala and be here and live. So some points here for you to think about. When you actually go and get, or I should say, what does it take? I already told you about the number of Americans that are actually in Mexico. But when you come across and you've got a tourist visa, well, you've got your passport, you have a tourist visa, and it gives you 180 days, that's 6 months, that you're able to be here. Then what you'd have to do is go up across the border. Now, here's what you don't want to do. You don't want to go across the border. I mean, you don't want to not go across the border because you could be here as an expat and be here illegally. We were told very, very clearly when we were qualifying to be our temporals that there are people that live here that no longer have their visa any good. I mean, literally, they might have a passport, but the time frame of them being here, they're past that. And I mean, they can get arrested. There's things that can happen here. So we were let known very, very seriously at the Mexican consulate that, in fact, it was illegal to be here and stay past the time of your visa, which isn't a smart thing to do anyway. So let me just share with you some things, because of the fact that it's easy to be located here. It's affordable living, and the cost of living here is somewhere between 50 and 65% less than what it is in the States. Now, if you're single and you're looking for a room in a house or a studio, okay, or maybe even a 1-bedroom, 1-bath that has utilities included, talking about electricity, we're talking about water, gas, internet. You'd have to take care of your, groceries and transportation, cell phone, those kind of things. But if you've got that, you can find places here for, I just did a video of a 1-bedroom, 1-bath for $300. I've done some that are $400, $500. I mean, you can live here pretty inexpensively. I mean, you literally, as a single person, could live here under $1,000 very, very easily. Very easily. So I shared with you about being in Mexico. So why are people coming and being digital nomads here at Lake Chapala? Because of the cost of living, the great selection of Mexican food. I mean, the thing that I have found here versus what takes place up at the States is the Mexican food is totally different. Now, what's interesting is the areas of Mexico that are close to the States, such as close to New Mexico, Texas, California, Arizona. Those that are closest to the border, there's a different type of influence when it comes to Mexican food. So the Mexican food in the States is different than it is here where we're at in Mexico, because we're way down north. In fact, corn's grown down north, flour's grown up. Down south is where we're at. We're down south, but up north at the border, there's more flour, more wheat. And so corn tortillas are popular here, whereas there it's flour tortillas. How in the world did I get off talking about food? I must be hungry. Okay. So that with the food. And by the way, I've got it, I've got a whole list here that I'm going through. So I'm just going to read through these here for you. People move here because of the culture and the bright colors and the people. I'll tell you, the people in Mexico are really, really friendly, and they're really hardworking. I'm just amazed at that. Really good hearts. They've really got good hearts, and they care for people. It's amazing. There's already an established expat community here. Now, is it required to know Spanish when you get here? It's not required. But you know what? I encourage it. I'm working on it right now. I encourage it. But if you don't know it, if you do know it, it'll make your life a lot easier. So I encourage folks, if they've not moved here yet, to start learning some Spanish. I mean, there's apps that you can use. You can use Duolingo. You can use other online Spanish. Here at Lake Chapala, they've got classes on Spanish, free classes to learn Spanish. So it's good to invest. It's good to invest time so you can invest your time in people. Yeah, it's a good thing to invest in you learning Spanish, so then you can invest yourself into other people and communicate and be around them and influence them. Banking. Being able to get access to your money is really easy here. The ATMs, that's all you got to do. You have a U.S. bank account. You don't have to open up a bank account here. You can be here working and be able to have access to your monies in the States. Barbara and I do. I mean, we get Barbara's Social Security check. It's deposited in our U.S. bank account. We use an ATM, and that's how we pay for things. So it's that simple. It really is simple. Okay. When's the best time to be here? I would say you need to move here now. What I do know is once you get to the point where you're coming to Lake Chapala, you're going to love it. You're going to love it. I've not met one person yet that said to me they couldn't stand it, they didn't like it, this or that. I mean, I haven't heard that. And in fact, you know what's interesting? What's really interesting is when I'm on Facebook, and I go to Facebook for one reason, actually two reasons. One is I look for properties. I look for properties with a thought in mind that this would be a property that somebody that's a part of our channel. I go do a video. They see that might be a place that they want to rent. So I communicate with folks that actually have properties available. And I've got probably 20 people now that I deal with that I can send out one text or one WhatsApp, and folks let me know what it is they have that's available. So the best time of the year to be here, I would say, is now. Some will say, well, if you come now, it's real crowded and everything. Look, Los Angeles is crowded. Albuquerque was crowded downtown. Same with LA, but people still move there. So coming to Lake Chapala, I mean, we're talking within the 15 miles here, going from Jocotepec to Chapala, it's 15 miles. You know, we're talking 40, 50,000 expats at the high season. Sometimes 60, I understand. And off season, low season, we're talking 20, 25, 30, somewhere in there. So the best time to be here is now. I don't think there's there's different reasons. There's snowbirds and there's sunbirds. Snowbirds come down when in fact there's snow, which in Canada, whether it's, up north, the northern states that are at the north border, back east, same thing. And then there's the sunbirds, those that don't want to be around the heat. In fact, there's folks that come here from Texas and also from Arizona. A lot of people have come here from those two states because of how hot it is. Now, I would say Albuquerque, but Albuquerque's a mile high. So the weather there is a lot different than it is in Texas and in Arizona. So, and here's why. Because Lake Chapala is the number 2 best climate in the world. National Geographic, number 2 best climate in the world. And we're also located around Lake Chapala. It's 60 miles around. It's 14 miles across the widest part. And it's Mexico's largest freshwater lake. As a matter of fact, the lake is actually, there are 2,500 gallons being pumped a second, providing Guadalajara, which is about an hour away, providing them their water that comes from Lake Chapala. And I know that there's, people that say things about the lake and all, and I'll just tell you it's not true. I did a video here back sometime, and I was telling you about the 2 reasons I got on Facebook. That's one reason. The other reason is when somebody's actually sincerely interested in coming and retiring here. And when somebody says something to them like, you can't find a place here for $400 a month, I say baloney. I've done videos on places. $500 a month. We had a 2-story house. I mean, $500. Pool, gated. I mean, beautiful place. Did a couple gated community houses. Did one in La Floresta. I mean, you're looking at houses that rent for $1,200 and above a month, rent-wise. This house was $750, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. $700 a month. $700, not $750, $700. That's amazing. So I let people know what the truth is. So when somebody says you can't do this or can't do that, for one, they probably don't live here. I can't believe that. People make comments on Facebook and don't even live here. You can tell. You can tell. So don't fall into the Facebook trap. I actually did a video on that also. So moving on here, talking about learning Spanish. Access to fast internet. That's an important thing. Let me tell you, getting good internet here can be up and can be down. Now, there's areas around the lake here that are older and probably don't have fiber optic. If you're going to rent a place and it's an older place, there's a chance it doesn't have fiber optic, which means you get the high internet speeds. So that's one of those things that you want to check on when, in fact, you're looking at renting a place, and to make sure that it's got fast internet speeds for you, because that's important. That's important. And the cost here is unbelievable. In Albuquerque, we were getting 80 megs for $140 a month. We get 200 here for $27 a month. Unbelievable. That's incredible. That's good stuff. So fiber optic. There's also a cable company here that also offers high internet speeds. They're called Total Play. And if you don't have if you don't have fiber optic, you can normally get high speeds through Total Play. Okay, so access to fast internet. The opportunity of connecting here with other digital nomads, other people just like you that are still working. If in fact, if you're looking to come and you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, not ready to retire yet, being able to mingle with other digital nomads, social atmosphere and fun. In fact, that's the thing. I remember when I first moved here, when we first moved here, I take it back. When we came here to visit, I asked about nightlife. And you know what I was told? I was told there wasn't any. There was no nightlife here. Bars, no places to dance. Now, I look back at that today, and I can't believe I was told that. That blows my mind. That really blows my mind. If you want to see what kind of nightlife and things happen here, if you're looking at coming as a digital nomad and want to have some social life, there is a gal. She's here. I did a video with her. She's from Denver. Her name is Kim. And Kim Lemieux, and she is actually now, I believe, like one of the editors or one of the writers for entertainment around the lake. Now, if you go to Life, I want to say it's Life on the Lake Now. Life on the Lake Now. She gives you where all the bands are, all the restaurants. I'm just amazed that we got told that there was no live music. There was no dancing. Unbelievable. See? And that is people that live here. Somebody had their head in the sand to tell us that there was no nightlife. In fact, one of my first videos, I think I even talked about that. I talked about the fact that there was no nightlife here. Now, Barbara and I I was a radio disc jockey for almost 10 years. I had a mobile DJ business. It was fun. But I've always been around music and DJing the whole bit. And when I got told that, I'm thinking, wow. Now, if that's the case, how much fun is there being here? Well, we fast found out that, in fact, there is live music. There's live music. We were at dinner last night. There was a place that had live music last night. So I would just tell you, if you're looking at making that transition, there is, in fact, nightlife, live music, dancing, all those kind of things. I've even done videos on it. There's restaurants that I've done videos on when it comes to the nightlife. If you like art, there's an art community here. There's also arts community in Tlaquepaque out in Guadalajara. Very accessible, utilizing public transportation. But there's also private drivers. So to give you an idea, if you're in Jocotepec and you're wanting to go to Chapala, it's 15 miles. But in that 15 miles, there are buses going back and forth all the time. You can stand in one spot, let's say, for example, in Ajijic, or I can go down to the Terra, down by the highway, and just stand there, and I'll see buses going around all the time. All the time. It's just the way it is. They're all the time. So it's easy for you to be able to get to point A to point B, if in fact you just do not want to have a car here. And that's the choice of some. Myself, I wouldn't be here without a car. I'm a very mobile person. I'm not just a shut-in. I like people, I like being around people, I like being active with people. And on top of that, with the health issues I'm dealing with, I need to be active with people. So it's a good thing for me. So the public transportation. Also, you can pick up the phone and actually call private drivers. I've got private drivers. I've actually done videos with people, private drivers. They'll actually come pick you up and take you wherever it is you want to go. I suggest that. I suggest that more than I would a taxi. Now, there's a lot of taxis here. But when it's a private driver, you can build more of a relationship. They know who you are. You go with them enough times. They know where you go. It's a good thing to do, is to get to know some private drivers. And I've actually got those listed videos with folks that are private drivers, that I would not put one person on there as a private driver that I wouldn't trust Barbara. It's already happened. Happened recently. Barbara was at a class, and it just so happened I was out with a couple, and I think we were in Jocotepec. So we were a good distance away from the class that she was at. And The car was at the house because she had gotten picked up. Well, she needed to get home. And so I called one of the individuals that we have as a private driver. They went and picked her up and took her home. So the individuals, I mean, there are people, Ricardo and Victor, Dominique. I mean, there's people that really, really do a great job that I would not have a problem myself. If I needed a driver and I need to call somebody, I've got folks that I can call that I know would come and get me picked up. So it's transportation here. You can get around and all. Now, it's probably going to cost you at least $5 a ride. But if you just don't want a car, it's the way to go. It's the way to go if you live away from the carretera, if you live away from the highway and you want to get around, having a private driver is a good thing. Unlike immigrants, digital nomads don't pay taxes to their host country, which is Mexico, because you're employed by a company in the States. So your taxes you're paying in the States, you do not pay taxes in Mexico. You're 1 hour from Mexico's second largest city in the country, Guadalajara. You're a half hour from an international airport that could actually get you to wherever you want to go in the States or into Canada. I mean, literally, you can get on a plane. I think it's an hour and a half. You can be in the States within an hour and a half. That's quick. So if you're here as a digital nomad, and let's say, for example, you got small kids but you've got older kids that you want to be able to go back and see, it's easy enough getting on a plane and flying back to the States or to Canada and be able to be with them. So one of the other benefits about being here is being close to a international airport. Lots to do, like nightlife, live music every night. You can take a boat out in the lake. There's all kinds of captains of boats. There's all kinds of them, a bunch of them here. You can go out take a boat out to the islands. I mean, there's a lot of things to do here. There's a lot of things to do. You can go for walks on the Malecon. You can dance. You can shop. You can go to Guadalajara. So living here as a digital nomad is very, very accessible to do. Very easy to do, very simple to do. You can be here and not feel like you've got to make $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month to live here. I would say as a single person, you can live here for less than $1,000. I mean, it could be $800. I mean, it all depends on what depends on finding a place. Does that place offer utilities included? And you'd have to take care of your own cell phone and those kind of things. But you can find those kind of places. And I've actually listed some. So with that, talking about being a digital nomad here at Lake Chapala, I hope that's been helpful for you. I hope that it kind of sheds some light on the fact of wanting to come here and maybe not being ready to retire, or you're retired, you're in your 60s, and you want to do something that's different. I mean, I've told my story that, if you would have told me that I was going to have a YouTube channel over a year and a half ago, we've been here now for about a year and a half, I'd tell you you're cuckoo. Cuckoo. I didn't know the first thing about YouTube. But here's something that was interesting. I had a gentleman back about 2017, I think it was 2017, talked to me about being able to make money on YouTube. And I thought, well, that'd be pretty cool. And this person said he had videos and all he could send me about doing it. Never sent them. I can't tell you how many times I reached out to them to find out what were these sources. And it had nothing to do with traveling to Lake Chapala. I actually, one of my occupations is I'm a golf professional. And so in Albuquerque, I had my own golf academy. And so I was looking at doing some things to be able to take the ways I was able to actually help people play golf and enjoy golf a lot more. and do it online and do it in a way where a lot more people can be benefited from it all across the country. So, or across the world, actually. So I never found out about YouTube. And it's amazing we come here and all the stuff I've had to learn about being on YouTube. I mean, there's work involved. But like anything else, if you're looking to come here and you're looking at retiring, or you want to come here and want to do something online, I mean, I talked about vloggers, people that like to travel around Mexico, take videos. And I mean, there's all kinds of things that can be done. So enough of that on being a digital nomad. It's a great place to be, if in fact, if you'd like to be able to do that. So hope it's been helpful for you. So friend, if you haven't already, I'd like to encourage you to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's a great place to be. It's a great community. And I know you want to be a part of it. All you got to do is go to the bottom right-hand corner. There's a little red box, tap on it, and you're subscribed when our next video comes out. Also, give us one of those thumbs up that lets other people know it's a great video to watch about Lake Chapala. Also, you can stop by and say hi, ask a question, leave us an idea of a video you'd like to see, and also make sure that you hit the bell, because that way you'll be immediately notified once, in fact, our next video comes out. You don't want to miss our next video. So with that, as always, thank you so much for being a part of this community and part of this channel. Have an awesome day. We'll see you on the next video.